Good morning, friends. My name is Mary Friona, and this is the Buffalo Social Club. We are coming to you live from our beautiful studio at Hilbert College. I'm here alongside my great and wonderful and beautiful, and I could go on and on and on, friend Kimberly LaRussa. Hi, girl.
Hello. How are you today?
I am great. It is a beautiful day. It's a little stuffy out there, but beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your week?
Oh, it was so good. I had a really kind of unique weekend. My friend Eric Herbert owns Lumber City Combat Sports in North Tonawanda. And I basically on Saturday enjoyed a fight in North Tonawanda on Main Street, which is like pretty cool. So this was a regulated fight and fighters came out and they were doing kickboxing. They were doing a little bit of MMA, wrestling, different kinds of fighting. But me and my husband sat there for 4 hours outside and watched all these awesome fights. And it was really, really cool to see. And, you know, what I love about it is my friend just kind of, you know, had a vision for this, for his business, and he just made it come to fruition. I love that. And my friend Diana sang the national anthem.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's his wife. And so it was just cool to see my two friends doing some really cool stuff.
So they set up a ring outside?
Yeah, there was like 700 to 800
awesome.
people in North Tonawanda just ready to see this fight. And it was, I mean, it was cool. They were playing like really cool music. You know how you get hyped up for Rocky and stuff. So they were like playing the music and the wrestlers coming out and the fighters and stuff. And it was really nice.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I took my girls to Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly. So Ella brought a friend, Emma brought two friends, and they like made their own costumes. They have been working on these costumes for a long time. And they looked so cool and they had so much fun. And it was way different than I ever thought it was going to be. There were way more kids there than I thought. Everybody's dressed up and the kids are coming up to each other. I love your costume. I love yours. Let's take a picture. Like, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. The vendors there were great. We spent a lot of money, more than I thought we were going to, but it was way worth it. It was so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad they had a good time. Yeah, that Nichols City Comic-Con is a big thing around here.
It was there were a lot of people. A lot of people.
A lot of people.
But we spent like, I don't know, 6 hours there, which flew by.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Yeah, other than that, last day of school. So now we're just in the celebratory sleeping in. Today's the first day my kids get to sleep in. So
I bet they love that.
Well, I'll ask them when I get home. We'll see. But today is a special day. Our show, for those of you who join us every week, and we appreciate you so much, today's show will look different than a lot of shows. We're here to talk about a really serious topic. Over the past, since 2018, Erie County alone has recorded 61 domestic violence deaths. And something needs to be done. This is a scourge on society, and we are here to bring light to this subject. We have a very special guest to join us.
We do. So today I've invited LAURI WIERZBICKI from Rachel's Warriors, and I'm so happy to have you here. You are doing incredible work in memory of your daughter, Rachel, who was a victim of domestic violence, and you want to make sure this doesn't happen to any other women. So I wanted to invite you here to tell Rachel's story and to help other women who may be going through this to ensure that this doesn't happen to them.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me on your show. When you say stuff like that, it's like, it gets me emotional right off the bat. But so we'll get down to business. So yes, I lost my daughter. She was 22 years old due to domestic violence, like you say. And you can either curl up in a ball or do something about it. So we decided, through the encouragement and support of all my friends and family, in April 2019, like 6 months after she passed, we created Rachel Warrior. So we called it Rachel Warrior because we're like warrior in the fight against domestic violence, right? So, you know, when we first started it, it was like 1 in 7 women and 1 in 9 men. And now the stats are 1 in 3 women. And I think it's 1 in, I can't remember what the men is. I think it's like 1 in 7 or something. And, but it's just, it's huge. And I don't know if those numbers are going up because, you know, it's coming to fruition now. I mean, that's one of my things. It's like, you know, I want to expose the abuser, not the victim. I want people not to be a victim. And, you know, my daughter was a victim, but I feel like now she's like risen to like some kind of phoenix. You know what I mean? She's like this force now to help out others. And so what we're doing is now we're getting into schools. Sorry, everybody. So we're getting into schools, and everybody in Orchard Park High School is going to be educated in healthy relationships. So what we did is we created a video of Rachel's story, and that was my school, and it was Rachel's school, and so every single student right now for the past 4 years has been educated through the Orchard Park High School and health relationships. So it's really good. The first year we got in there, it was right before prom, and there was several students that burst out of, because they could recognize the sign, they burst out of the auditorium, and they had the counselors and everything there. But I don't think these kids know. They don't think that they know. I don't think that they know that they're in a domestic violence situation. And that's why education is key, right? Education and being aware of what's going on and seeing your friend, even if somebody, your boyfriend takes away your phone and, or they don't want you to be around friends and they just isolate you. And I think that girls think that, oh, he loves me. He's doing this because he loves me. He's treating me like this. He wants me with him all the time because he loves me. No, that's not love. It's control. It's total control.
I've always been really shocked at how young this starts. The statistics in colleges for college girls is it's unbelievable, really.
It is. It's just crazy, and it just keeps getting more and more. But I feel like, with education and people watching out for others, get involved. If you're afraid to get involved or say something to your friend, just reach out to one of the other child and family services or whatever. I didn't even know, I recognized the signs with my daughter, and there wasn't really anything. She's not going to listen to her mother. You know what I mean? Maybe she would have listened to some friends. You know what I mean? Girls, I never listened to my mother, So, I would tell her things, and she always tried to save that person. She went from one abusive relationship to the next. She never found that. She always was looking for love. She just wanted to be in love and get married and have kids. And she had so much love to give, and if only anybody could have recognized that in her, and developed that and loved her for who she was instead of trying to control her. She was absolutely beautiful, and I feel like, those types of people go for the empathetic souls. Like Rachel had such an empathetic soul, and so unfortunately I couldn't save her, but I'm here to save others.
And you are, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, when I first started the foundation, I was like, oh, it was hard. It's like, oh, we saved another person, but now, 7 years later, I'm like, oh, we're saving people, and we're really helping, and we're making a difference. And we're all over the community. Like I said, we're in the schools, and we just had a big giant fundraiser a couple weeks ago at 500 Pearl. And it was attended by over 300 people. And we were recognized by Pat Burke. He gave us a $10,000 grant.
That's wonderful.
So, and our bank gave us another $5,000 grant. So we were very excited about being, recognized in the community for what we're doing. It's not, sexy and glitzy and glamorous, but we're helping people, and that means a lot to everybody on my board. The board is just stuck through it because they're all friends of our family and, friends of Rachel, and, everybody's got the same common goal to help others. So we have our own website, and we get cold calls. We have a form that people can fill out, and, it's private. And so we help that. And we also work with Child and Family Services and Haven House and Family Justice Center and Community One. So we also support those organizations. So they'll reach out to us with a crisis situation, and we're always there to support them. And our board is very, very agile. So they'll call us, and we can decide in 10 minutes, if we're going to help this person or not. And we fill in all the cracks where the government can't, it's all the bureaucracy. So we're there to help out and support in a crisis and really quickly.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring you today, because I've been noticing in the local media, women who are sadly not with us anymore because their husbands, did what they did. And I'm seeing it more and more. So, there was around Valentine's Day, allegedly the police officer that took his wife's life and then leaves behind the babies. And, when I see that too, the mothers that their babies are left behind and how tragic that is for them too. I just wanted to use our platform to give a voice for other people who might be watching. How do I get out of this if you're feeling like you might be in something like this before it's too late?
Yeah, I am surprised because even people like me, like I could have called to support my daughter at Child and Family Services. So if you have a daughter out there, that you don't know how to help her, feel free to call. They will totally give you all the resources that you need. I didn't know that. I mean, in my own family alone, it was my mother. My mother's best friend was killed by her husband when she was 34, left behind 2 kids. I don't even know my biological father because my mother left him right before I was born. Then my sister too, and then my daughter. So I felt like I had to do something, because it's just like, that's just in one family, that this stuff happens. I mean, so, I just keep going and fighting the good fight, but.
Why do you think it's so hard for people for these women particularly, to get out of these relationships? Do you think they don't realize that they don't have the strength? Because I feel like when they finally do, you see how strong they really were all along.
Right. And it takes them like 7 times to leave them because they
Wow.
come back. It's like a boomerang thing. Like that's the average, is 7 times going back to the same person. And when they finally get out of it, then they're done. But it takes a lot because they always think it's them. They're like, I should have done something better. They're always blaming. And that's typical of a domestic violence situation. They always think it's them. They don't think it's their partner. And it's clearly their partner. But the partner has just put so much onus on them that they think it's them. And it takes them a while to get out. And they're like, I should have done this better, or I could change him. If I do this this way or that way, I can change. But that's the reason why it keeps going back, because they always think that they can do better and they can save this person. They always think that they can save that person.
Or they think that person really does love them because, when they meet this person isn't hurting them or beating them up in the beginning. So they probably take in all the things that were, kind about them and they treated them well. And they want to go back to that, in the beginning. And then they realize that, that they can't get that back. That was never them.
And women are maternal, and we just want to help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we're the ones that can change them, and we're the ones that can bring out the best in them. And sadly, that's just not the case.
And another factor is the financial impact. It's like, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? I have 2 kids. I have a job. Where am I going to go? Like, who's going to pay who's going to support me? And those are the big things. And, that's, or Haven House has they can just leave and they can just go right to Haven House with kids, dogs, there's rooms and all of that available, and then they could stay there for months, and then we help them get them out into their own apartments and that, they build up their funds. But that's a lot of times is the financial impact because they don't have the money and the funds to leave. So they feel trapped.
The work that Haven House does is literal life changing.
I know.
And we are so lucky to have a place like that in our community. How does that work though? Because I know it's very, for lack of a better word, secretive.
Yeah.
It's very behind the scenes, they're doing so much work and they're not getting it out in the public for a reason.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because they don't want the abusers to find out where they're living. It's very private. It's very hidden. I don't know any of those places. They just call me and they need money and I just send it, So, but Rachel Warrior, we provided Child and Family Services Haven House an endowment for, through our organization. So we got a plaque on the wall for Rachel, and, we helped, develop all these new kitchens over at the centers, with the homes and all of that. And it's the housing that we're short on. So we're, they're trying to get more houses, and they have got another house. So that's really, really good. But that's the thing, is where are we going to put all these ladies, and so that's what we really need is the housing.
For somebody sitting at home watching right now, how can they help? How can they get involved? Maybe it's in memory of somebody, or maybe they just are looking for a way to either donate, give of their time. Are there volunteer opportunities? What can people do to help?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're always looking for volunteers. We have another meat raffle coming up next spring rather, in March. Another way people could help is, I don't know, we're looking for social workers if anybody has any kind of expertise there, because it's growing, like the calls are growing. And I'm just a mom. I am certainly not, a social worker. I'm not educated. I'm just a mom. And so, if we could have somebody on staff where they can help us field some of those phone calls, that would be great. Then we're also looking for somebody. I mean, we all have full-time jobs. So we do this for fun. I mean, nobody draws a salary. We do all of this just out of the goodness of our hearts, in honor of my daughter. But we really want to get in all of the school systems. So if you're a teacher or whatever, I mean, they've incorporated the program, the Healthy Relationships program, in all of the health classes, like every single, like I said earlier, in Orchard Park, it's incorporated into the health classes. That's what my next goal is, because I feel like education is key. Education, get ahead of the problem, be proactive instead of being, reactive. Educate people on the signs. If you have a friend going through it, don't hesitate. Get involved. Say, I see this, I see that. And, but I really would like somebody to help us to get into all of the schools, like to reach out to all of the schools and get the program into the schools to educate the kids.
I mean, you think that would be just a no-brainer for these districts.
I know. I agree. So we just got, my husband just got a form up on our website to, for any teachers out there or whatever that want to get involved and want to get the program into the school. But it's been great. I mean, we got a lot of positive feedback. It just opens up the kids' eyes. Like, these are high schoolers, before they get to college, you know what I mean? And I don't think we can educate people in college, but I don't know, someday, baby steps.
Baby steps.
I don't want to make you, so feel free to say no, thank you. But would you mind just sharing Rachel's story a little bit more for those who are watching, and maybe that can, help them know?
Sure.
What to look out for.
Yeah. So Rachel, she was 22 when she passed away, and she always got involved with all the boys that she needed to fix. Do you know what I mean? They were very, very controlling. She couldn't, they would isolate her from us, from family parties. And I'll never forget the first time when she was 17 years old. We were going on a big giant family vacation, and her boyfriend wouldn't let her go. And that just broke my heart. That's all I did was cry the entire vacation because she wasn't with us. And it just, that was the beginning of it. And, I just started saying, I didn't understand that because I was never in, you're just walk away, Rachel. Why can't you just get out? Just walk away. And it took her 2 years to finally get out of that one, back and forth. I mean, fights on our front lawn. I mean, purses getting thrown and things. I mean, there's, I just didn't understand, why she would let somebody be this controlling of her, but she really loved him. And, and then she got out of that one only to get into another one. But it was just that constant, always trying to help somebody and fix somebody mentality that just got her where she ended up. But yeah. So that's her story. Yeah. But yeah, it's rough to see your daughter go through that too. Do you know what I mean? She comes home with the, the fat lips and the chipped teeth and the black eyes and the, that one time she lived with somebody for a couple months, and I couldn't get, the minute you start saying, don't do something, she's going to do it, and, as most kids are, And we moved her out of that apartment, not once, not twice, but the third time was a charm. And she was just bruised, black eyes, fat lips. And that was just the physical, and then you can tell, her demeanor when she moved back home, she was very, the PTSD, somebody walk into the room and she'd be startled. I mean, it was just like not just the physical, and I think the emotional abuse is worse than the physical abuse, because the bruises and all that goes away, but what it does to your psyche and your mentality is just, but through it all, she persevered, and she was still a burst of energy and moved on to the next one. And, the next one, she moved back home on June 24th, and on June 27th, she met the monster that was gonna take her life. And she only dated him for 5 months.
That was it.
That was it. 5 months. 5 months. And I'd be like, Rachel, let's go out to dinner. Let's all 4 of us go out to dinner. No, Mom, he doesn't want to meet you. He doesn't want to meet the family. Doesn't want to meet anybody. I go, Rachel, that's a red flag. Mm-hmm. And yeah. And I go, Rachel, you have the biggest heart of anybody I know. And she's like, Mom, it's a blessing and a curse. Like she had the biggest heart, and she always wanted it. I mean, we had so many animals in our house, like hamsters, fish, dog, like she just wanted it. She had such a huge heart for anybody, like any human being. Like that's the way she was. And she really thought she could save and fix this one. So, I mean, and she went over there that night just to collect her driver's license and, earrings. And she was in the car with 2 friends. I mean, and I can't believe he got off. And, we were 2 weeks in trial, and he got on the stand and completely lied about their relationship for, 5 months. And I just couldn't believe that he got off. But he even texted one of his friends, she's on her way over, I'm loading the 22. And the jury found him not liable.
I remember the case, and I remember following it, and I remember being absolutely shocked.
The judge was shocked.
She was like,
what?
Yeah, it was so shocking. It was like, I mean, do you still have faith in our justice system after that?
No, not at all. Like my friend told me, she goes, it's called the victims or what's it called? Mark, what's it called? It's called the criminal justice systems, not the victim justice system. So, and I'm like, so, there was, yeah, it's just like for 2 weeks, we were quote unquote, if you will, winning until he got on the stand and completely lied. I mean, even the coroner said that she was shot from the side, and 2 witnesses got on the stand, and they were there. They saw it, and she was leaving. And what pissed him off is she kicked his car, and that's when the bullets started flying. He was mad because she kicked her car. And, I'll probably get some, whatever, but, I just don't understand how somebody can get let go that has had 2 witnesses see this happened. And after she was laying on the ground, her friend had her car door open, so she heard the whole thing. They weren't really fighting. They were, just discussing, and he pushed her on the ground when she got there, and she stood up. And they said that she slapped him in the face, but not that hard. So she was leaving, and she kicked the car, and that's when the bullets started flying. And he's like, I didn't know a 22 could kill someone. He didn't know a 22 caliber could kill someone. And you can buy those he bought it at Cabela's. So I won't even go into that story anymore. But there was, when she passed away, it was like, do I fight the gun, gun control, or do I fight domestic violence? But it was really domestic violence that, got her. But yeah, how can somebody point a 22 caliber, shoot at somebody 3 times? They only found 2 cartridges or whatever. And the bullet, like if the jury had any kind of, we got the Z team on the jury. I'm just going to go there. So we got the Z team on the jury, and like, they were like the stupidest people of all. They were just so stupid. They didn't comprehend. They weren't listening. They weren't paying attention. They had to take breaks all the time. And like, there was like an hour and a half of the judge giving instructions. I mean, they couldn't even understand where you can't talk to the judge. And he's like, Your Honor, like the foreman is like, Your Honor. She goes, you can't talk to me. He's like, but Your Honor, we need a cigarette break. And she's like, you can't talk to me. I mean, they couldn't even understand simple directions like that. And they never ever explained that there could be a hung jury, And then we saw part of the jury talking to the criminal defense attorney outside, one of the jurors. So it was just like, it was awful. It was an awful experience. And when they said not guilty, because she had to be, they had to count them guilty on both counts. One was the intent. Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody says she's coming over, I'm loading my 22, that sounds like intent to me, right? And then number two is he didn't know that a 22 could kill her. So yes, he killed her, but he didn't mean to. So you had to be guilty on both those counts, and that's why he got let off.
So you took all of this pain, all of this anger, all of this frustration, and you are turning it into something that is remarkable.
Yeah.
And I really want to know, like, what would your daughter think about what you're doing in her memory?
She would love this. She would love this. Rachel used to say, if Carmen doesn't get you, I will.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she was like very, very powerful. She was a powerful force. And I know maybe you guys don't believe this and maybe this is crazy, but I've gone to mediums and they said that the two of us had a pact, like that I was going to be her mother. Like we picked each other, and she was going to be like, she's like this giant catalyst. Like she's just this giant phoenix. Like she's working behind the scene through me. I feel like I'm her little puppet down here. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Mom, do this, Mom, do that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, the more and more life goes on, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I don't like it. I don't know why I picked this like long time ago, but yeah, I just feel like this is the way, this was the purpose. This was the purpose. I always knew she was going to do something great with her life. I didn't know it was going to be postpartum, or postmortem. I did not know that, but I knew that she would do something great with her life, and she still will, and she'll live on even beyond me. She'll live on, she's got all of her stuff going on. She's got the foundation. She's got murals up all over. I mean, she's, we're helping out, Child and Family Services that will always have her plaque up there. They'll always know who Rachel was. A lot of people, know who Rachel is. She was just like that kind of person too. Like she used to work at the birdhouse, and this is just a snippet of the person that she was. She would, like, this one customer ordered this drink and she needed a Red Bull to make this drink. And she's like, oh, we don't have that in the menu. She goes, hang on. She went to her car, got one of her own Red Bulls and made the drink for this customer. Uh-huh. I mean, that's just the type of person that she was. She'd give you the shirt off her back and clothes and everything. She was just that type of person. She was so giving and so caring, and she was a lot of fun. She like the energy that she had was just unbelievable. I used to say she had her days and nights mixed up when she was in her 20s, because she would just, every night was a party for her. I don't know if she, knew deep down she wasn't going to have a very long life, because every single night she was a party for her. So she was
trying to fit it all in.
Yeah.
And I know you still get signs from her.
I do. Yeah, like feathers. I have a whole box of feathers, black feathers, pink feathers, yellow feathers, like just boa feathers, just feathers that show up. Like I'll get out of, I'll get in the car or whatever, and there'll be this giant feather on my leg, and I have no idea where that would come from. It's just, yeah, she gives me feathers. Yeah, she knows, because she was, yeah.
Well, I want to know, what does someone do if they are in this situation? How can they reach out to Rachel's Warriors and get the help that they need? What is the first step in this process to get that help? So if someone is, with someone that is abusing them, or they just get in a gut feeling that something, is not right and they need to get out, how do you help them?
Yeah, even if they want to check in, with something, and is this right? They can always call. We have a website, Rachel Warrior Foundation. It's AEL is Rachel Warrior, all one word. And there is a little button on there, for get help. So they can click on that. And sometimes people don't want to go to like the big organizations like the Child and Family Services and the, you know what I mean? So they'll reach out to us, and we're like a onesie twosie kind of thing. So you'll get more intimate care. We have one of Rachel's best friends on our board, and she's our social worker, and she's just wonderful. So she does this for a living. So she's great. And she's a wealth of information, wealth of resources that she shares with them. And she's got a great ear. It's like talking to a friend. It's like talking to Rachel. She's wonderful. So you'll get that one-on-one with us.
And what about as a community? What as a community can we do different or better to help this entire situation?
That's good. So there is right now we have rack cards, and we drop them off at restaurants and all of that. They're like gone like that. We put them in the ladies' room. Those rack cards are gone like that. Like I'm always replenishing, restaurants and doctors' offices and stuff like that. So
And
I
it just
think
has the information?
Yeah, and it's a rack card of who Rachel was and her story, and if you need help, and all the numbers and the websites are on the back of her card. But as a community, I think that the best thing that we could all do is just watch out for each other. Just, if you see something, don't be afraid to say something, we're working on getting there's like this, I don't know if you guys know it, but in other cities and all that, they have a drink. Like if somebody orders a specific drink, like, that's the bartender's cue, like, this is a, domestic violence, situation. And yeah, so stuff like that, like, but you got to educate everybody, you know what I mean? You got to get all of that out there and spread the word. So that's what I would wish for the community. Spread the word. Don't be afraid. Educate yourself, educate everybody. You know when somebody's like in a scary situation, don't be afraid to reach out. And if you yourself don't know what the words to say to that person, reach out to us or to Child and Family Services or FJC. FJC is great. They focus on they have lawyers where the victims don't even have to go to court. Like everything, like, I don't know if people know that, but you don't even have to go to court. They have a camera that shows the courtroom. So you don't even have to be in the same room with your abuser. It's great. And they handle all. I recommend going there for all of your restraining orders. Don't go to the police. Go to FJC. Just saying.
Family Justice Center. So why is that? Why do you want to go there for your restraining orders? And how important is it to get that on the books, get that restraining order, file it, get it started?
It's very, very important. Like we went to Family Justice Center for the restraining order. We didn't go to the police. Police, you're just I feel like, you're probably just like another number. You're like, they don't really care. But FJC really cares about this issue. So they're going to take care of you. Like, the police handle everything, right? But FJC focuses on this, and they handle this, and this is their expertise. Anybody that needs a restraining order, go to FJC, just saying.
Yeah, I think with FJC, my experience from my work at Channel 2 was, and I have a friend who works there, a lot of the people that volunteer there, the lawyers, et cetera, have personal experience with domestic violence, which gives them another layer of understanding in the whole thing.
Yeah. And I was really excited. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the community with Mike Keene and all that. They're getting a domestic violence advocate, like on domestic violence calls at the police stations. So I got to look more into that, but that's really exciting. I think that's great because like the police aren't really educated in the weeds of the domestic violence situations. And I mean, case in point, the Gabby Petito, that was rough, with the police. They didn't know, and they locked her up pretty much and let him, go. And look at how that ended up. But,
well, national stories like that, though, I feel like they're so tragic, they're so terrible, but they also bring so much attention to this cause, this terrible tragedy.
That it's not going away, that there's still more that needs to be done.
I know.
That it's
true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little pockets, that people are doing, and I'd love to have a big giant coalition, like a big giant, so we can all tap into one another, and, we're stronger in numbers than we are individually. So, but that would be cool.
I still don't think that some of these women really believe that these men are capable of this until it's too late. I do.
Oh yeah.
Rachel, I mean, they can see it. They can see they're getting abused. It's happening, but I don't know if they ever think that in their mind, their life is really going to be taken.
Well, we're programmed to see the best in people. And when we love somebody, we don't ever want to think something so terrible.
Right.
But there's just so many examples over and over, national, not your neighbor, your community member, that prove otherwise.
I know. I know. Rachel going over there that night, she would have never thought that he would have killed her. Never. Never. I would have never thought that.
We are so grateful that you were here with us. And we talked a lot about Rachel's like problems and what happened, but can you just tell us like, what was she like as a child growing up? What was she?
She was very artsy. She was very artsy. She was always innovative, doing something new. Like I would buy her clothes and she would like cut the sleeves off and make her own little like, she was just always she was very, very creative. Like she would write books. Oh my God, she wrote this one book about a Bon-Ton bag. And every day she'd write something and there was like this special piece of clothing or special thing in this Bon-Ton bag. And she would just write about it. I would read all of her stories that, all of her papers from college, I would read them and I'm like, you could just hear her voice. Like she just wrote like she talked. Do you know what I mean? Like you could hear like her voice coming through all of those papers. She was so much fun. She was like we went to Disney World, one of our stories, and she wanted a bubble machine. So we buy her the bubble machine and she's like blowing the bubbles on all the little kids. And she was just bringing joy. She was just brought joy to people. And, she was, she wasn't the best student, but if she applied herself, she would have been art classes, all of that stuff, English, all the artsy classes, ace, C, she would work so hard, or like for math, she would just work so hard to figure out how to get a C. If you just, applied yourself and not figured out, the amount of homework that you needed to hand in to get your C, you probably use your talent elsewhere, but stuff she wasn't interested in, she didn't really apply herself. But we took ceramic, the pottery classes, where you build your own pottery, the pottery wheel. Like we were always doing creative stuff like that. So I couldn't wait. Like when she got older, like we were going to have our own like business and making cards and all of that. But she was very fun. She was very fun, loving, outgoing, beautiful inside and out. She was the best.
Well, I think your board members, many of them are her friends from when they were in school. So I think that's a testament. All these years later, her friends are still rallying to remember Rachel and to do the good work and in her name, because friends come and go, but these friends are like, they're with her for life.
They're warriors.
They're
and
warriors.
Now they're all my daughters now too. Like I consider them all my daughters.
Well, we appreciate you today. We know that this is, not an easy topic to talk about. And I just really wanted to bring to light this situation that's happening locally and see how we can help these women. So I appreciate you for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I was excited. Once we got the ball rolling, it was all good. But hope I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to. I didn't swear, so that's good.
You did.
You did a wonderful job remembering your daughter, talking about your daughter, but also giving warning signs. And telling people what to look for and how they can not only get help, but how also they can help others. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We
Thank
really
you so much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you have a final thought?
I have a final thought today, which is something that you actually said was, if you see something, say something. There's no harm at all in saying something, even if you're wrong about it. If you're wrong about it, what's the worst thing that could happen? If you're right about it, you could literally save a life, change the world in a way. So if you do see something, as cliche as it sounds, say something.
That's very good. I agree. My final thought is my grandma always told me to go with your gut. And I think that pertains to today's conversation or in life in general. If you are in a situation or you're with someone and your stomach starts to turn and you feel all funny inside, do not ignore those signs. That's your body telling you something's wrong, danger, alert, whatever it is. It could be something small, it could be something big. But there's no reason why your body is doing that. There is an absolute reason. Your body doesn't like what's happening. It's saying get out, and you need to listen to that in any situation, whether that's with a friend or a boyfriend or a job or anything. If your body's telling you something ain't right, then you have to listen to it.
It's usually right.
It 100% is always right.
Yeah.
But as humans, we like to rethink that gut feeling, right? Oh no, maybe they didn't mean it, or this, I misunderstood, or I'm overthinking it. No, when your stomach is upset, there's a reason for that. You got to listen to it. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very.
Do you have a final thought?
No, I don't. But I love your grandmother. That's very good advice.
Thank you.
I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, please do.
Mhm.
I'm going to use it too.
Thank you.
We should all share that one.
Mhm.
Well, we appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me. Thank you for letting me share my daughter with you guys.
Always.
Of course. And we appreciate our audience sticking with us through this. We know that it is a tough conversation to have, but it also is an important conversation to have. We will have more details on how you can get help and how you can help others. So just stick with us. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next week, Buffalo.